Hello everyone, been about a month. Came across a legal site for workplace dress codes and what a employer could impose upon their workers. And I've got it on my little gizmo here, so I'm just going to read the rules that they have, what rules they can't do. Shoot. Hang on. Get down. My camera is on a couch right now, so it's going to wobble if the cat ever hops onto it. But I don't want to be mean to the kitty. Alright, so examples of illegal workplace dress code policies. California law prohibits employers from enforcing the following common types of dress code and grooming policies in the workplace. 1. Banning employees of one gender from wearing pants, e.g. requiring women to wear skirts or dresses. 2. Requiring employees of just one gender to wear uniforms. 3. Banning transgender employees from dressing as or taking on the appearance of the gender which they mostly identify. 4. Requiring disabled employees to wear certain attire or uniforms. This can constitute disability discrimination if the uniform or attire makes it more difficult for the disabled employee to move around or perform work tasks. 5. Forcing employees to be clean-shaven, which can discriminate against certain religious or nationalities. 6. Forcing employees to cover tattoos or piercings if they are related to a religious belief. And 7. Forcing employees to have short hair, which can discriminate against certain religions. Now, let those rattle around in your head for a bit, because I'm finding problems. The first problem is the first rule. Banning employees of one gender from wearing pants, e.g. requiring women to wear skirts or dresses. Now, what do they mean by banning one gender? The only genders I know of that are commonly related that are at times forced to wear, or told they cannot wear pants, is women. Everybody else actually is made to wear pants. If you're something other than a woman, you wear pants. Notice something that's missing. First of all, this rule is sexist in itself because it is concentrating on women only, e.g. requiring women to wear skirts or dresses. It's 2018, and this is a fairly new rule thing. It's 2018. Where are the rules for guys to be able to wear shorts, leggings, skirts, or even dresses? They're not there. Now I know people are going to be like, well, no guy ever thinks about wearing those. BS! I'm one. I know that. And I know there's several others out on the internet, out on the internet and out in real life, who would like to have that option. Maybe wear a kilt or something like that. But they can't do it because of rules like this. Because there are companies that hold to the rule that men are not to wear unbifurcated garments. Unbifurcated meaning pants, meaning something other than pants. Now this is another rule that upset me, and that is banning transgendered employees from dressing as or taking on the appearance of the gender which they mostly identify. This is all well and good. I'm actually happy this rule exists. When I go further, you're going to think I'm transphobic or something, because a lot of people, for some reason, think I'm transphobic for having the stance that I do. The problem with this rule is it concentrates on only one group. Again, males in general are limited. and they're limited by law. What I mean by that, in order for a male to wear something not so masculine, maybe a skirt, in order for a male to be able to do that, it's almost like he has to claim to be trans. Now, I get a lot of guff when I state that. And I get a lot of guff for what I'm about to say. And that is, I think the way these rules are written are one of the reasons we have this growing tendency for people who have an androgynous style, or aren't, you know, their presentation isn't fully masculine, shall we say, whatever the heck that means. I know. Why they go for the trans movement. I said it. I think these rules, and society in general, coerce men who would like to have a little more freedom of expression and style and not be held to the standards of masculine. Choose to identify as women. Maybe maybe in their mind they're coerced into thinking, well, maybe I'm a woman. Now, understand this. I have nothing against trans people. I have nothing against them having rights. But this rule and the way this is written is only for trans people. And in my mind, it should be across the board. Take, for instance, this rule about hair. Forcing employees to have short hair which can discriminate against certain religions. Why does it matter if it discriminates against religions? It's sexual discrimination. Because women have long hair and men have short hair. That's how it's accepted. Yes, I have long hair. This long hair at my work causes some issues. You know. Forcing employees to cover tattoos or piercings if they're related to a religious belief. Why do they have to be related to a religious belief? And then with that rule, with that caveat, if they are related to a religious belief, how many people who want to have their piercings, have the freedom of having their piercings on display, or their tattoos on display, say, oh, I'm so-and-so religion, when in fact they're not? That's lying. I understand that. But how many people do that? Now look at the trans issue. Seriously. No one thinks about this. I know, because people think this is so unimportant. And it's like, well, if it's so damn important, why do these rules even exist? Why can't they just say sexual discrimination and religious discrimination? No, I'm sorry. Sexual discrimination and discrimination of things that hurt nobody is forbidden. No matter the sex, no matter the race, no matter the creed. Forbidden. Why is it always focused for one certain group? In this case, two certain groups. Transgender and religious. As I've said in other videos, I would like to be able to go for a job interview wearing a skirt, a nice skirt suit, because I don't like how I look in a three-piece suit. I do not like how I look. I'm just as male and just as masculine as any other guy, but I like skirts. And the fact that I'm forbidden from doing that, for all intents and purposes, I'm forbidden from doing that because of sexual discrimination reasons. That right there, that's a problem. And the only way, really, that I could do that is by saying I'm trans. And believe me, I have been pressured, I have had that pressure in my mind. I have given thought to it. And it's the wrong reason. It's entirely the wrong reason. Just to be able to gain more freedom of expression, I have to claim trans? Hey, that's wrong. Because there are people who are genuinely trans. People who genuinely feel they're in the wrong body. And it's wrong for me, or anybody else, to, in order to gain more freedom of expression, more freedom of style, or anything like that, to claim they're trans. Now, I've heard of people who don't suffer from dysphoria. And another thing I get a lot of shit for. And that is, another thing I get a lot of shit for is saying, oh man, my cat jumping on the couch skipped my mind. But, you know, that's what this video is about. What I really hate is I get called transphobic for having this stance. And I'm not transphobic. I want rules across the board. You know, instead of just saying that, you know, banning transgendered employees from dressing as or taking on the appearance of the gender with which they mostly identify. How about making it that you can't ban people from wearing clothing that does not coincide with their accepted gender? As I've said, people say this is unimportant. Well, if it's unimportant, then why do we have these rules? As I've already said that. Why do we have these social rules that limit people in their expression? And there's, well, it's kind of like Animal House. Everybody's equal, but some people are more equal than others, and they get special rules. Now, I've had someone get on my case for pointing that out, as if I'm denying, as if I want to deny trans people those special rules. That's not what I'm going for. Delenn, please stop. Yeah, they get denied. I'm not for denying trans people these rights. You know. And the thing is, these rules do exist, but employers can still figure a way to fire you for not dressing how they want you to, which I also think is bullshit. But that's all a societal thing. That's all a thing. That's something that society has just got to get over. And how that's going to happen, I don't know, when you have rules like this. Or when you have that employers are banned from having such rules as this, but there's still open windows to be sexist, and sexist against men. Because when you deny a man the freedom or the ability to be able to wear a skirt or a dress, or have long hair, or wear makeup, that's sexual discrimination. That is the definition of sexual discrimination. So why it's even permitted, I don't know. You know, you know, just, you know, go ahead and leave, like, Delenn, I love you. You're so cute, but you're annoying. Yeah, anyways, just go ahead and leave comments. Just understand, I'm not transphobic. I'm not against people having rights. I'm against the notion of people having more rights than others. Rights should just be across the board. That's really my stance. Rights should be across the board. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. And no animal should be more equal than other animals. I don't know. Tell me what you think. Alright. Thank you very much. See you next month.